Hi, this is Debasmita. I'm a mental health professional working in a school as a school psychologist. Here I'm going to wish you all a very happy Women's Day, and I would like to say thank you to Guidance City for letting people share their stories that may inspire many other people. So basically, I'm coming from a lower middle class family where my father is a first college graduate, whereas my mother is coming from a very highly qualified background where her parents taught her every skill and everything that a skillful daughter is supposed to learn. Now, the differences in between two families made me suffer as a child a lot because it was not harmonious in many other way. Otherwise, my mother has been the victim of domestic violence for many more years. And as a child, it was very pathetic and problematic for me and shaping my personality as a human being. I was the punching bag of my mother for no reason, the role I never had to play with. Where being a child, I was going to share my incidents. Wanted to vent out my pain in among my classmates. They used to judge me. It was again painful, feeling left out nowhere. I thought, if I'm getting into a relationship where a person is quite understanding and he or is going to understand my pain, and at least the support that is least expected from my parents that I am going to get, it will make my life a bit easier. Without knowing the consequences, got into a relationship with a guy who was 15 years older to me, and the punitive treatment from my parents made me so rebellious. I did not listen to them, but I never wanted a family life like my parents had, so I convinced everyone. And just after my graduation, I got married with this guy in the presence of my family members in a civil marriage ceremony. By the time I was the student of the esteemed university, I cracked the entrance examination with the 8th position, and it was going amazing. Few months I could not understand what is going to happen, what I'm actually going through, but I was going through pain. The marriage was not so good, not so easy. It was another cage for me. I was actually running away from my home, what was a cage for me, with lots of negativity and problems, and I got into another cage with lot more negativity. At least my parents were there for me in some ways, in some aspects, but here no one was there to stood by my side. It was another mistake. But I never gave up. I continued my studies, and during the time of my final year, we were having the internship program in one asylum. That time, I was also the victim of domestic violence. There, I met a woman in female ward who was telling she was having everyone, but she can't feel anything. The person was going through major depressive disorder, another form of depression, and being the child from the dysfunctional family, I have been gone through low self-esteem issues, anxiety, and depression for many more years. I just thought it is just my future. I can't become like that. And I started finding where the seed resides. In my school, a counselor came on a part time basis where I shared my story of my partner, that I'm in a relationship with my partner and I want to have like a clear future with him. So, what she did, she went and complained it to the principal. Being the good student, the principal wanted me to focus in my studies, and she told everything to my parents. Then I was brutally beaten up, and the rebellious mentality made me feel I have to get married to get out of this cage house and to have a future like where I'm free to live, to breathe, and without all the toxicity. When I was also going through the same pain, I had no one to go back. Still, my father was little considerate and he asked me to come back home, and he told me that you decide whatever you want to. When you got married by your own choice in very young age, and everyone asked you not to, that time taking a decision like divorce is quite painful, and that time you are also studying. Luckily, I was earning since I was 17 years old, so that was not a big problem. I shifted to another city, I chased my career, and after lots more battles, after switching jobs, switching cities, losing my parent, as my father passed away in between during COVID time, everything happened. But what I found, I made it happen. Whatever I wished for, becoming a school psychologist, just to help those people, those who are actually going through pain for many reasons, they have no role to play, but they are suffering. So here is my journey, and I know many people are suffering much more than me, but it was never easy for me to survive when you have no one to lean when you are in need. So my message is to everyone, yes, you will be battling a lot, you will be spending a lot more sleepless nights, but there is always a hope, always a light, and the darkest nights only come before the dawn. Thank you so much.